Back when I was in college, my wife showed me how to make this super cheap dinner called salsa chicken. And as a broke college kid, I used to think this was the best thing in the world. All you had to do is throw in a few chicken breasts into the Instant Pot, a jar of salsa, some salt and pepper, and this was all done in under 10 minutes. And now it's been almost 4 years since I made one of those meals, so I think it's time I give it an upgrade. The first thing I'm doing today is to cook all of my vegetables over charcoal, and I added some wood chunks for some extra smoky flavor. This is some tomatillos, jalapeños, onions, garlic, and then I threw the chicken directly over the coals to get some grill marks and to develop some awesome flavor from the charcoal. And the chicken is still completely raw inside because we're going to be cooking it all day in our Dutch oven. And I was cooking food for a lot of people, so I had to do multiple batches of the chicken. So once those were done, I brought them inside, and then it was time to place everything into our Dutch oven. On the bottom, I laid a bed of sliced onions, threw all the chicken breasts on top, and then all of our salsa. I was doing a mix of regular and some salsa verde along with some chicken stock on top. Mix this all together and then threw this into our oven to cook. In the meantime, I started to make our salsa verde with all the vegetables from the grill. This was all the tomatillos, the onions, along with the jalapeños, the garlic, and then some fresh cilantro, salt, pepper, and a little bit of olive oil. Gave it a test try. I think it needed a little bit more salt and oil. Mix this back up and then threw this onto our stove to simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes before throwing it onto a bowl, adding a little bit of freshly squeezed lime juice for some extra brightness, and then throwing this into our fridge to chill. Next, it was time to make our pickled red onions for our tacos. I chopped them up, thinly sliced them up, threw them all into the huge mason jar, and then I went ahead and made our pickling brine with a little bit of sugar, some apple cider vinegar, peppercorns, salt, and a little bit of white wine vinegar. Gave this all a mix and then poured this over all the onions and then closed the lid and let this sit on my counter for about 40 minutes. After this, I went ahead and prepared some of the toppings that were going to go in the tacos. This was some finely chopped up white onion, and then also did some freshly chopped parsley as well. Mixed those two together and then got a few avocados out, thinly sliced them, and then placed those all into a bowl for the topping. And then after I was done preparing all the toppings, the chicken was pretty much done as well. I went over to the oven, pulled out the Dutch oven, placed it on the stove top, and then took all the chicken out, placed it on a bowl, and literally shredded it up just using these two forks. The chicken was so tender after cooking in the salsa all day. And then I warmed up a mix of flour and corn tortillas, threw all the salsa chicken back together, mixed it all up, and then made these tacos. And let me tell you, these were insane. Everybody absolutely loved this recipe, so if you want to make this, I'll put the full recipe in the caption below. It's a great family dinner and no one will be disappointed.